Hey guys, Buff from GameBed today bringing out a video, and today we are covering the first REDSEC win here in the series, How to Win. I'm not sure how I'm going to structure this series yet going forward, but let me know, give me your feedback here. So in this video, I'm going to open up with some gameplay. I was playing with a random quad last night, and this is the gameplay you're seeing here is our first game together, where I dropped 11 kills and we got a second as random. So we ran it back all together and then we got the win, which we'll go through the win here in a second. But I just want to run through this. I'll show you the build I'm running here for the MG4. You'll see me pick it up, and that's what I get the bulk of my kills with. What I'm running here, in the beginning, I had a saw that I ground looted and upgraded a little bit, and a UMP-40, which the UMP-40 is an amazing gun for REDSEC. Very good in close quarter situations. And I think the SAW is also probably one of the better LMGs. It could even be better than the MG4, but you'll see where the MG4 excels here in the gameplay for that fast rate of fire at closer to 900 rounds per minute with the MG4 versus the SAW at like 700 something. So I will say, just my overall impressions of REDSEC, it really reminds me of old school Blackout from Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, I believe it was, the Blackout Battle Royale that they had. It was behind a paywall. I think it was really ahead of its time, and that was a really good Battle Royale. And the thing I noticed, which you'll see when I'll walk you through the win that we do have, is circle play, how to rotate and things like that. That's something that I think really got lost in Warzone over the years. Warzone, the circle play, rotation, and things like that, I don't feel were as key, because you had airstrikes and UAVs and all this other stuff that you depended on, contracts. It became a much more fast-paced Battle Royale, whereas Blackout and here in REDSEC, you really need to put a lot of thought, I feel like, into the gameplay, down to the classes you're running, which here we're obviously running support. And I think the benefit of support is you get 8 plates, you have the ammo pouch, you have the paddles to revive with that you can pick up. So support, and you revive faster with support also. So I think support is probably my favorite class within REDSEC. But again, the thought process, how your squad is balancing things out, how you're circle rotating, when and where you're getting loadouts if they come, contracts, things like that, and just working as a team, because each class has a role in REDSEC versus, Warzone. It was just very, let's do contracts, get our loadouts, and then just basically kill hunt as fast as we can. Whereas there's some of that here in this game, but the gunplay and everything, I think, is much more forgiving with the TTK and things like that. So the gameplay you're seeing, again, this is just a random quad, and you'll see the MG4 here, which, like I said, I'll go through the build. Super fast rate of fire, and I think I finally found the best build for the MG4. It's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, LMG in the game, but I was having a lot of difficulty with it in REDSEC because of the accuracy with sustained fire and at ranges, and I think I finally figured it out with the attachments I have, and again, just getting more time on the weapon within REDSEC. So here in this gameplay, this is the one we got second. You can see I already have 6 kills here, and just the MG4 is just going ham. You can see some of these ranged engagements just tap firing it, basically trying to get like 2 to 3 round bursts really fast, repetitively hitting the trigger, so I'm resetting and kind of negating the bullet spread, which they did update a lot of that in the latest patch, which is good. However, with something like the MG4, it's more of a close quarters like spray machine. Very good in CQC, and if you can maintain good trigger discipline, it's very good. But some of these engagements, you'll see like some of these here, I'm able to just hold down the trigger at maybe 20-ish meters, and the spread really isn't going to matter at that case. And here you'll see the UMP gameplay too. The UMP-40.
Right on me.
I don't know how I survived some of these engagements, but the UMP-40 close quarters, again, it has a slower rate of fire, but with that 40mm Smith & Wesson, it hits really hard. And again, this is, and I'll walk you through the circle rotation for the win we have, but this circle we had here, this should have been a win for us. I got a little bit too cocky because I had a lot of kills, and I was just like feeling on fire. So at the end here, I pushed up, I saw the last team, and I got it down, and I was stupid. I should have backed off and plated, and instead I pushed, and I didn't see the third guy there. So I ended up getting 11 kills in this game, and we ended up losing. It was 2v2 or 2v3, and we ended up losing, unfortunately. But again, let's go ahead. I'll show you the loadout I'm running for the MG4 here. So again, first off, that 323 bundle, I covered it in the video the other day. You can see I have the same operator for 3 of my classes, and I should probably switch out my recon, but I don't really use recon. But that 323 operator pack, awesome. I think this is probably my favorite operator that you see here with my 3 classes. So jumping into support, let's take a look at the MG4 here. I did a video on the MG4 for the weapon guide for the series, so you can check that out too. But what we're running here, first off, suppressor, I'm running the standard suppressor. So this definitely helps with control. It helps with your recoil, keeps you off the minimap, hipfire accuracy. It's a really good suppressor. Versus you can see like the flash suppressor, you're gonna pop up on the minimap with that, but it's more accurate than the compensator, and the brakes are a little bit more accurate. But again, suppressor, I notice for sure it helps with the recoil quite a bit. So I definitely recommend the standard suppressor. When you do unlock the lightened suppressor, that should help recoil even more. But again, I'm not there yet. I have it at level 20, which is pretty good for where this is. Now, barrel, I'm running the heavy. I typically was preferring and running the short barrel, which I think was the problem because the bullet velocity, you can see there, bullet velocity 536 with the short barrel versus 670 with the extended or the heavy. And the heavy extended is going to bump that up to 837, which is going to be a beast when I unlock that. I'm pretty close to that, so I'll definitely be running that most likely going forward when I get it. But the heavy, that's really exactly kind of, 670 meters per second is really good. For that barrel, it's only 10 points, versus the short, which is 15, and you're really only getting hipfire accuracy and mobility benefits out of that. It's not as good. You're losing precision, so I wouldn't recommend that. So the heavy barrel. For the vertical grip, the one that I really like the most, I was running kind of the stubby and some other things, but I think this 6H64 vertical is a good medium. You get good precision, good mobility balance. This is the one, again, 25 points. You can also just run the ribbed vertical. You're not going to lose that much control. You'll gain a little bit of mobility, but 25 points I think is good with that. So the 6.864 is the one I'm running and prefer right now. Running with a standard 100-round belt. I tried making some builds with the 200-round, but honestly, 200 rounds, it's going to hurt your mobility, and you don't really need a 200-round belt in any engagement. So I wouldn't really recommend that, especially for 55 points versus 5. Definitely not worth the points there. We're running standard ammo for this. And then I'm running a green 50 milliwatt laser for better hipfire accuracy. So you can see just the huge increase, right? No laser, and then all the way up here to the 50. And then if we go even higher, we already have the max hipfire, so we're gonna get mobility on some of these other ones, but that's it. So green laser 50 milliwatt, really good for hipfire accuracy for those close quarters engagements where you need to spray, and you can turn that on and off, so it's not gonna be super visible. And then for the scope, I'm running the 4.5 times LCAN versus the variable LCAN. So 4.5 times LCAN, for whatever reason, that 4.5 times zoom I think is perfect for this weapon. A 1 times or 1.5, something like that, is not zoomed in enough for me. And the variables and things 3 times, I just don't love those. 4 times. So the 4.5 LCAM is my optic of choice. I've played around with a lot of these in REDSEC and multiplayer. For whatever reason, this just allows me to be more accurate at some of the engagements that you'll be seeing. So that's what we're running here for this weapon. No camo on this. It's actually the... Let's see here. It's the Warfighter blueprint. We're getting really weird audio there. It's the Warfighter blueprint, but yeah, that is the MG4 build. Really clean build. Again, I did a video specifically on MG4, but that's a gun. If we jump into the firing range really quick, you'll see again, just tap firing, very accurate. It gives me the perfect amount of zoom to maintain accuracy, I feel. So yeah, it's right now, I think it's probably my favorite LMG, and it works really well here in REDSEC. And again, just holding down the trigger at these ranges, like, you're fine. Even at this long range, if I wanted to, but you're better up tap firing at those ranges. So let's go ahead now. We'll jump into the gameplay. I'll walk you through this win. Alright, jumping into gameplay here for this REDSEC win. We're fast forwarding a little bit to the action, so I already picked up my loadout. We have the MG4 here, and I have my secondary sniper loadout here as well. I think I upgraded that sniper. I don't think it's my loadout one, but here, doing some engagements with this team up the hill. There's a 3-man here. There could be 4. I just didn't see the 4th, but you can see the tap firing. There's a lot of them, so I was trying to just pepper them as much as I could with my team. On the left-hand side, hit them also. They were focused on me a lot there. So our teammate ended up downing one there, and then I got downed. And now I'm calling them out while I'm crawling backwards. They're rotating to the gazebo there, so I'm gonna get up here. I need to plate and then reposition a little bit. So I'm gonna plate up, find some hard cover here on this bridge. And again, looking at the circle, right, they're going to need to move from left to right. So I'm trying to get on hard cover here, and I can mount my weapon, which is exactly what I want to be doing with this MG4 to help with the accuracy. Trying to peek to see where they are. So I'm trying to mark them here. You can see them on that hill, but again, I'm way too exposed. So I'm going to get back on cover, knowing they have to move left to right. So I go ahead and I get that down. Now I need to reload. So this is the downside. Again, it still beats the 200 round belt for mobility reasons. But 100 round, it's going to take a little bit longer to reload. And then here's the benefit of the support. Even if I didn't have defibs, I would have been able to get him up pretty quick. But the defibs, super quick revive, which is nice. And again, here mounting, I don't know. I broke this guy, and somehow I did not kill him, which just baffled me. I don't know how he got away. Now, here goes the other guy. I was able to get him pretty easily. But that other dude got super lucky. I don't know how on earth I did not get him. But again, I know, looking at the circle and the fire, he's rotating up that hill. So he's going to have to keep rotating around or come towards me. So here I'm just kind of slowly going up the hill, waiting for him to come to me. I see him still rotating, and I ended up hitting him there, and our teammate got the kill. So I did a lot of damage there, and our teammate ended up killing him, which I didn't really notice. I was still looking for him for a little bit, but then we confirmed that he was dead. Fast forward a little bit. We're, again, moving in the circle. Again, and here's just the close quarters dominance of the MG4. That guy got the gun on me. Granted, he was probably shooting at a few of us, but just turned on him really, really quick and was able to get him. So here's an interesting one. We have a tank in the circle here, so I'm trying to call out the tank. I can't do anything. We do have an engineer on the team, but, again, me being support, I'm just trying to rotate around it and look for infantry. So the tank is up on the road there, and our teammate, I think, ends up getting him with a rocket launcher. One shot with a rocket to the treads is going to disable the tank. So if you can hit it with a launcher, drop an airstrike, you're going to get that kill. But there I ended up getting one guy dead. Now there's some guy in this ravine here. So I'm trying to wait. There we go. Our buddy got him, which I didn't notice, so I pushed and tried to look for him, but then we confirmed that he was dead. So just picking it up. We're kind of getting shot. So here's where the circle rotation comes in. You can see we're going to the short side of the circle, which is typically what I used to do in Blackout. So getting back to the mentality of how to rotate in the circle has been a little bit difficult for me because, again, you didn't really need to do this in Warzone. But the short side of the circle versus the wall is really where you typically wanted to rotate back in the Blackout days. So that's what I'm doing here, is rotating around. I'm using my smoke launcher for cover, getting my reloads in, and now I'm just kind of waiting, going slow. We have 4 additional teams left here. Trying to find some good cover where I can lay down. And here I'm laying down, spotting a team here. I don't want to give away my position yet, so I'm just kind of holding for my team to catch up. Now I'm going to start moving because they rotated back. So here we go. Here's the MG4 again. I just held the trigger down there. I don't think I really tap fired that much. That was within probably 20, 25 meters, and it was perfect. So was able to clean him up really, really quickly. I don't think he had any plates. Here we go. I spot another guy on this tree. So again, he's going to have to move to me. I don't know if he thought I was shooting him from behind or not, but ended up cleaning him up. I got the squad wipe, which I didn't notice, so I was still looking for him for a minute there. But so 6 kills. I think that's as much as I'm going to get here in this game. Again, I had 11 in the second place before where we got the second. This is the same squad, so we ran it back. We got a second and then a first place here. So got that kill. There's one more team, and I think it's a solo, so it doesn't tell you how many players are left here in the final circle, which is cool because it could be a solo, it could be a full team. You don't really know, and I believe it ends up being a solo based on how we clean him up. So there he is, and our teammate gets a kill. So it was a solo, and we got the win. So that's the first REDSEC win I had. Again, circle rotation, rotating to the short side of the circle is typically the better move. That way you can hold off, and you can watch your angles and make sure people aren't pushing on you. It's just an easier side to hold on the circle. But obviously getting there can be a little bit difficult. There's a lot of luck and team play involved to rotating and making the right moves. But that's the REDSEC win. Let me know your thoughts down below. The MG4 here right now is my favorite REDSEC gun, I believe. That and the Tavor 7 I'm really having fun with. But I do want to level up the SAW because I feel like the SAW is going to be probably better than the MG4 for ranged engagements, at least, based on the gameplay I've had with it on pickups. So let me know your thoughts down below. REDSEC, how to win. Let me know what the format you guys want to see going forward for this. If you would like the commentary or not. Until next time, this is Buffner Gaming. How to win in REDSEC with the MG4. Buffner Gaming, out.